something that I'm constantly educating my clients on is how all the little things that you have in a week, or all the empty calories or bits of junk food, etc., can add up over a week or over a month to actually make a big difference to your diet and your weight loss goals. Now, a lot of these little things people leave out of their food diaries because they don't really see the significance of them, and they think, oh well, it's only a cup of tea or it's only a glass of wine, etc. However, if you're not tracking them, it's really difficult to really pinpoint what's causing you to fall off track. And actually, some of these things can add up in just a week's time, like I said, to make a big difference and a big impact to your weight loss goals. So most people that come to me with a fat loss goal, when I work out the calories, we aim to put them in at least a 500 calorie deficit. A 500 calorie deficit every day of the week for a week means you should burn an extra 3,500 calories of body fat, because you're 500 calories short per day of what your body needs. So that's 3,500 calories burnt off in body fat in a week should give you a fat loss of a pound a week, which is sustainable, it's gradual, etc. However, in reality, what a lot of people do is they'll stay in their calorie deficit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So they'll go 500 calories under Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So in effect, they've created a 2,000 calorie deficit. Then what tends to happen on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all hell breaks loose because it's weekend, and all these other little treats and things start to creep in. So I made a little list of some of the most common things that crop up in people's food diaries that when you log it once only seem like a small-ish number of calories. Well, some of them are a bit more than others. They seem insignificant when you're logging them once or twice, but actually if you're having them daily, or you're having them a couple of times a week, or if you're having quite a lot of them in a weekend, it's completely taken you out of a calorie deficit, so you're no longer burning body fat. You've basically ruined some of the hard work that you've done in the week, and sometimes it's actually putting them in a calorie surplus, so you're going to gain body fat instead of losing it. So your results plateau and you don't really understand why you're not getting the results that you want. So for example, some of the things that we might see, this might be a little bit back to front, but us Northerners, we love a brew. We also love a brew with 2 sugars in. The amount of people that I know who have tea 2 or coffee 2 when they have a brew, it's a very common thing. So to have 1 cup of tea or coffee with 2 sugars in it, you're talking about 50 calories. Now, if you have a cup of tea or coffee with no sugar in it, you're talking about 10 calories, and that's just really the milk, if you have milk in it. So the sugar adds a big extra calorie intake to a tea or coffee. So you think, well, 50 calories, what's 50 calories? Well, 50 calories is actually quite a lot if you're having 2 or 3 brews a day. And sometimes that's even low for some people. Some people have more than 2 or 3 brews a day. So if you had 2 cups of tea a day with 2 sugars in, you'd be averaging an extra 700 calories in a week. So if we've put you in a 500 calorie deficit, but you're supping 700 calories of T2, that's going to impact you straight away. So brews with sugar in, packets of crisp. Crisp is one of these snacks that seems small because it's packaged nicely and you don't get many in them, and they're easy to grab off the shelf, and they come as part of meal deals and things. But for a normal bag of crisps, like a McCoy's or a Hula Hoops or something like that, you're talking about 250 calories for a bag, for a normal bag. But most meal deals and things now have grab bags, and it always seems like it's, better value for money if you get the bigger bag for an extra 20p, etc. So you're probably talking more like 350 calories for a bag of crisp. Then you've got biscuits. If you're at work and someone's got the biscuit tin open, a couple of biscuits, that's easily a couple of 100 calories. How many times a week might you do that? Other things that crop up, wine or beer. So for a bottle of wine, 500-ish calories. For a 6-pack of beer, depending on the brand of beer, averaging about 1,000 calories for a 6-pack. Milky coffees, so your Costas and your Starbucks, again, because it's a drink, people don't think of logging their drinks like their wine and their lattes and stuff, but a vanilla latte or something like that, you're talking at least 300 calories for 1 coffee that week. A bowl of cereal, none of us measure out portion sizes, or very rarely do. A portion size of cereal is minuscule, so most of us, so for 1 portion of cereal you're talking a couple of 100 calories. most of us would fill the bowl up, so we're talking at least 2 or 3 portions. Again, that could end up being a 500-600 calorie sugar hit in one go. Pizza, we love a bit of pizza. It's very rare I check a food diary that doesn't have some sort of pizza, whether it be a Domino's, a Pizza Hut, a Pizza Express, or the local takeaway, etc. At least 1,000 calories on a pizza. And then cake, we love dessert, so lots of people will have at least one dessert or something a week in there. They might think, oh well, it's weekend, so I'm allowed a dessert, or it might be a scone or whatever. Now, if we add some of these things up, so if you've put yourself in a calorie deficit, or we've put you in a calorie deficit, 500 calories a day, and you've stuck to that Monday to Thursday, and you've created a 2,000 calorie deficit, you've not burnt a pound of fat off yet, we're getting there, okay? Then if on a Friday you have a pizza and a 6-pack of beers, that's 2,000 calories in one meal, one hit, straight back in. You've took yourself out of your calorie deficit, it's gone. Then Saturday, you go to Wetherspoons and have a full English brekkie, or you might be out shopping with the kids and you stop at Greggs and have a pasty. Pasties and pies, us northerners, we love a pasty or a pie. 500 calories for one pasty. So if you think you have a pizza and a couple of beers on a Friday night, a pasty while you're out shopping on a Saturday, probably a takeaway and a bottle of wine or something on the Saturday night, you've actually now not just took yourself out of a calorie deficit, you're now in a calorie surplus. And then Sunday, it's like, oh, the last day before getting back on it. So there tends to be Doritos, chocolate bars, chocolate biscuits, etc. So these things, they might seem small when you're having them in one go, when you're looking at the menu and somewhere and you think, oh, well, that's only 400 calories, I'll have one of them. But when you add up your brews that you're having, whether that's a latte or a cappuccino, or whether it's just 2 sugars in your tea, and you're having them every day, that's adding up. If you're having bowls of cereal that you're not measuring out portion size wise, you could be tripling your calories straight away. A bottle of wine, 500 calories. I'm being generous here when I say a bottle of wine. I know people, and I've seen food diaries where there's a bottle of wine a night. Now, I'm not judging, I love a glass of wine, but there's not a cat in hell's chance you're going to lose weight on a bottle of wine a night. And when I speak to some people about alcohol's quite a touchy one, actually. As soon as I say to people, you know, we might have to reduce some of your bad calories, they're like, I don't want to stop the drink. And we have a real attachment towards drinking, probably because we live in quite a stressful society, and it's a relaxant, it's a relaxant temporarily before it becomes a depressant. And it's very, very common that people drink every night of the week. Might be only a glass or 2, but you add that up over a week, it's quite easy to go through a couple of bottles a week, even more. If you've got weight loss goals, if you've got health goals, all these little things, they add up. Not only do they add up to take you out of your calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight, they're actually making you gain weight. Now, it's quite common when somebody first joins up, when they're just eating pretty much like they used to, or they're being a little bit better than they used to at first. They'll message and they'll say, oh, my weight hasn't dropped this week and I'm a little bit disappointed. And I'll have a look over that week and I'll pull out all these little bits that I've added up. And it's quite common for me to say, in the last 7 days, you've had 5,000 calories of junk. That 5,000 calories, whether you're in a calorie deficit or not, has to go somewhere. And if it can't be used for energy in the muscle because the muscle's already full, and if it can't be used to repair and grow cell tissue, etc., because it's not nutritious, you're going to deposit as body fat. And that's why you could be eating as healthy as you like, meal-wise, but if you're snacking on crisps, if you're drinking wine every other night, or a couple of bottles on the weekend, if you're having a large pizza washed down with a couple of beers, etc., it's so easy to just not just undo your progress, but send yourself massively in the wrong direction. So keep an eye on them. Out of interest, just log everything you have for a week and see what an impact it could be having. Once I get people logging their food in MyFitnessPal and they log some of this stuff, they're mortified at how much they've been having. And they're like, I never knew that, a pasty was 500 calories when I could have had chicken, rice, vegetables, a yogurt, a protein shake for the equivalent calories. So Do it. Download MyFitnessPal. Log everything you have, even if you don't share it with anyone and it's just for your own education. It'll be a big, big eye-opener. And think of all the little things that you're having through the week added up, how they might be having a big impact. Good luck and cut down on the junk.